Hey guys, Josh here. Hope you're doing well. Hey, I've had a whole bunch of people ask me this week about Facebook retargeting ads, how they work and how you can use them to bring more traffic back to your Shopify store or e-commerce store. So I decided let's make a little tutorial. I'll show you how you can set up Facebook retargeting ads for your Shopify store. A couple of the processes in this has changed recently, so I had to go through, work out exactly how to do it again, and then do a walkthrough and show you how to do it. So stay tuned for the video. I'm going to really quickly show you what we ended up with the ads. So if you have a look here, we've got our advertisement. Now this is obviously a mobile news feed example, what it would look like on Facebook. So we've got the page that we're from, we've got the top heading here, we've got the main heading here for the ad, and then we've got a little subline, we've got the website that we're looking at. This isn't the website, it's just for the example, and then we've got a shop now button and a picture of the product. Now this is specifically for if you have just say you've had someone come to your store through an ad or from somewhere else, they've had a look at a product, or they've actually added this product to their cart, and then they leave the website because they got a phone call, they got distracted, they decided that it wasn't quite for them right at that very moment. They need to have a think about it. So what this does is get this specific ad in front of them. If I had looked at this specific green shoe, let's get this green shoe in front of them. So how this ad works is we've got don't forget the product name, so we've automatically put the product name in there. The rest of it is just static text. We've obviously imported that image, so the image is there of the product. In the headline down the bottom here, we've got was, and then we've got the compare at price from Shopify and the normal price from Shopify as well. Then we've got another little tagline that we've just added in there, but this will be displayed just to people that have specifically looked at or added this particular product to their cart. So this is super powerful because we're just spending money on people that have shown intent, that have shown that they're actually interested in this particular product, and that means that we're going to get a lot more conversions from this campaign. It's not going to cost as much because we're only having a look at a small audience of people, and your return of investment from these ads is going to be one of the best return of investments from pretty much any of the marketing channels and methods that you will have in your e-commerce life. So let's have a look, let's dive in. I've recorded the video, let's jump in right now. Awesome. Hey guys, I'm just going to cut in really quickly. I did record this video a couple of days ago, and in editing I have done a bit more research, understanding properly what the iOS 14 updates that are coming up are going to do, as well as what is going to be happening in the next 12 to 18 months with a lot of the other web browsers that people use. So basically things like third-party cookies are going to be blocked by default. People are going to have to opt in to cross-app tracking on iOS devices soon, and as we know, iPhones are one of the most popular phone devices, and phones are one of the most popular in terms of ratio to desktops and tablets. So this is a good majority of the traffic that people get. So basically I'm not going to get too complicated with it, but there is a setting. I do mention it a little bit further on in this video, but I just wanted to highlight exactly what you need to do. So let's quickly jump into here. So this is, if I bring it up on my screen, so this is the customer data sharing. Now what will happen, this is all about your ads tracking and making sure that you're actually attributing sales that have come from Facebook ads to those specific ads and those campaigns. So what we really want to do is have maximum. It's actually really important to have maximum here. If we did standard or enhanced, it will track conversions based on the Facebook pixel that you put on your website. However, that can be blocked by things like, as I said, third-party cookie blocking, which Safari has actually blocks that by default natively, so that's all Apple devices, as well as if anyone has ad blockers on their, Firefox or Chrome or something like that, which a lot of people do. This will actually stop Facebook from being able to know that this person that they sent to your website actually made a purchase. So what this maximum does is it actually uses the Facebook's conversion API. So what that does is if someone purchases something on your Shopify store, it'll get their their contact information that they've obviously provided to you, like their email address and phone number and name and that type of thing. It'll allow you to automatically send it back to Facebook and said, hey, Carol here purchased this product from me. Did you send Carol to my website? And they said yes. Carol actually clicked your ad 2 days ago, and that aligns up. Great, awesome. That Carol actually did make a sale. Let's make sure that we mark that in Facebook Ads Manager. That way you do get an accurate reading on your return of investment and your results. Now things are going to change in the next 12 months. We're not 100% sure exactly what it's going to look like, but as you know, Facebook Ads has changed significantly over the last couple of months. So this is the system that Facebook has put in place to make stuff work, so that when iOS makes the changes, this is going to give us the best opportunity to make sure that all of the metrics that we're looking at and we're making decisions on in our business are as accurate as possible. So just wanted to put this in here. Let's get on with the video and show you how to create your awesome dynamic retargeting ads. Alright, so let's have a look. We have got our store here, Josh's Store of Greatness. We've got a couple of products here. We've got a couple of Nike shoes here, got a couple of t-shirts. Now this particular one here does have some variants. So it comes in grey, my favorite color, black, or it's more like a charcoal, and blue. So this one has a couple of variants. It's good to note that just for later on when we have a look at how we can deal with variants. But what we're going to do is connect our store with Facebook. Get everything connected. That'll be the first part of this video, and then the second part we'll jump into Facebook Ads Manager. We'll be able to import the catalog feed, and we'll be able to create these awesome dynamic ads that are going to be super relevant to where people's kind of journey is in their customer experience and customer journey in purchasing from your store. Cool, so let's dive in and have a look. Cool, so the first thing that we're going to do is go to online store. We're going to go to preferences. This is just a brand new store that I've set up just for this example. So there's literally nothing on it except for a couple of products. So let's scroll down. We're going to go to Facebook Pixel. So again, online store preferences, Facebook Pixel, set up Facebook. Now this is one of the changes that has come in more recently, where there's actually this Facebook Shop app which connects you properly with Facebook and Instagram, so you can link your products to Instagram and to a Facebook store, as well as send a catalog feed straight to Facebook Ads Manager and their new Commerce Manager, so that you can then use those products. So the first thing we're going to do is accept all of these. Facebook wants access to all of these different elements of the store, so we're just going to hit OK there. Then we're going to connect our accounts. Here we go. So into my Facebook account here. Then we need to choose a Facebook manager, so a business manager account. So if you don't have a business manager account set up, you will need to do that. I'm not going to go through that in this video, but I will see if I can find a guide that I can link, and you can find out how you can set up a business manager account. So we're going to select this one here. From there, we're going to choose a specific ad account that we're going to create, or not create, but actually connect to. So we've created this one for this example. Next, we're going to choose the Facebook page that we're going to have associated with this store. For this example, when it loads, we're going to go with the Nifto Digital one here. Oh. Okay, so something weird happened. I just had to refresh the page. Basically, we just selected the Facebook page. This next step, the data sharing here, it actually skipped. It automatically selected enhanced, and it automatically created a Facebook ads pixel for us. If you want to use a different pixel, if you've used this before and you want to use a different pixel, you can just disconnect and then reconnect to the pixel that you've already got. With the data sharing, I'm actually going to select maximum. So this is basically the amount of data that Shopify will share with Facebook. in terms of trying to identify the people that are on your store so that we can give them the most customized experience that is suitable for them in our Facebook ads. It also helps with things like tracking conversions and a couple of other bits and pieces. So for this example, we're going to go maximum. It'll share the most amount of data possible between those two. One thing that you will have to do is probably update your privacy policy. I believe, there's a guide just here that might be able to give you some information on exactly what you need to put in your privacy policy. But that is just one of the things that you need to do. So we've done the data sharing element. We are happy with this. We're going to go maximum. We're going to hit confirm. We're then going to choose the target country. We're going to choose Australia, and we're going to click accept terms and conditions, and we're going to finish up. We'll take a couple of seconds here. Awesome. So now we're all connected. Cool. So the first thing that we want to do is start the Facebook shop setup. So we're going to click this here. We're going to choose, it's going to bring this up. We're going to choose our Facebook commerce account. Now, if you don't have an account, what we're going to do is hit replace. We're just going to start this from scratch. Because I already had a commerce account, this is not a step that you'll probably have to take. But this will be just creating our Facebook commerce account. We're going to review the terms, hit accept. Don't know why it's going kind of off screen there, but we're doing that. It's going to go through everything. We're going to hit OK. And we should be good to go. Great. So now we've got our Facebook shop here. We've got our Facebook marketing. We are ready to jump into the Facebook Business Manager. Before I do that, I'm just going to remind you the settings here. There are a couple of settings in the back end. Here in the data sharing is where you can disconnect and reconnect your pixel if you need to use a different pixel, and you've got your privacy settings there. Awesome. So let's jump into Facebook Business Manager and go to the next step. Cool, so now we are jumping onto business.facebook.com and we're going to go into our Facebook Business Manager settings. So we've already got, I've already got this one set up, and as you can see, I've got many Business Manager accounts that I'm connected to. So now that we're logged in, what we're going to do is click Business Settings on the left-hand side, and then we're going to go down to Data Sources and Catalogs. Now, this will show us all the different catalogs of products that we've got. The Shopify Facebook Shop app will automatically create this Shopify product catalog in that last step that we just did, where we were connecting it with the Facebook commerce platform. It might be a little bit confusing. There's a whole bunch of different components that are working together. I'm even getting a bit tongue-tied trying to talk about them. But if you can go back through this video, you can take it step by step, and you can work out exactly what you need to do. So we're going to open the the Commerce Manager here. Cool, so now we're in the Commerce Manager here. We can just have a look at all of our items in our catalog here and make sure they're all here. As you can see, we've got our 2 shoes and our 2 shirts, just like we have on our Shopify store. And remember, this one had the variations, so we've got the 3 variants here. Awesome, so it looks like everything has synced up perfectly. What we're going to do now is jump into Facebook Ads Manager and start creating our retargeting ads. Alright, so to jump into Facebook Ads Manager, we're going to go up the top, click the 9-dot menu and click Ads Manager. Awesome, so this is Ads Manager. We won't do a full walkthrough of this, but I will show you how to set up your retargeting ads. So what we're going to do is click Create. This will create our ad. Now, there's 3 levels. There's a campaign level that's up the top. There's the ad set level, which is in the middle. And then there's the actual ads, or the ad level, which is down the bottom. So an ad is within an ad set, and the ad sets, or there's multiple ad sets that can be within a campaign. So for this example, what we're going to do is go catalog sales. Then we're going to select which catalog we actually want to use. In this case, we're going to choose the Shopify product catalog. We can name this campaign. I'm just going to call this test campaign. The ad set we're going to call test ad set. And the ad we're going to go, let's just leave it at that. That looks good. So let's click continue. Awesome. So now what it's done is we've opened up the campaign level. So we've got our test campaign here. We've got the settings that we just set. We really don't need to do anything in this. There are some other elements, but we're not going to go through those in this video. We're going to hit next, and that will take us to our first ad set. Now, with the ad set, there's a couple of different things that we want to do. Firstly, we want to set our budget. For me, I'm going to set a daily budget of $20 a day. It's going to start from, this will automatically fill in the date and time as of right now, so that if we hit go and next and publish, it will just automatically start because the start date will then be in the past. So now let's have a look at the audience. So there's two different options. There's retarget ads to people who interacted with your products on or off Facebook, or there's find prospective customers even if they haven't interacted with your business before. What we're going to do is do retarget ads. So we're going to select this one. Now here's where the fun begins. So we've got a couple of different options based on customer behavior on your store. So there's people that have viewed or added to cart but not purchased. So that means if someone has purchased a product within the last 14 days, they won't be seeing these specific ads because they've already purchased. So that kind of saves you on the ad spend of showing an ad to someone that's already purchased. So this is probably the one that you're going to be wanting to do. There is also added to cart. I mean, a couple of these you can actually kind of pull apart into different ad sets, but this is going to be the best one if they've either viewed a product or they've added it to their cart in the last 14 days. That's probably their, any longer than that, and they're probably not going to be interested in the product anymore. So that looks like a really good option. So let's start with that. We're going to go automatic placements for the time being. You can have a look at placements in your own time, but basically that separates things like Facebook and Instagram stories. Obviously that's on in a phone kind of like 16:9 or 9:16 format, so it's the tall format just like this, you can see. So that's obviously going to look a little bit different than something in the feed or something that is more landscape. So there's a couple of different options here. What I'm going to do is leave this as automatic. That way Facebook will basically use its algorithm and try and find the best opportunities and the cheapest placements that's going to be suitable. So that's all we need to do here at the ad set level. The next thing we're going to do is go next, and we're actually going to look at creating our ad. Awesome. So now we actually get to the good stuff and we get to start creating our ads. Now, what we want to do very first is make sure that we're selecting the right Instagram account. So the ads can obviously run on Instagram as well. And we want to make sure it's associated with an Instagram account. Otherwise, it'll just be associated with our Facebook page. And if anyone clicks the profile image on Instagram, it's not going to take them to your Instagram account. So that's why we just need to make sure that we are selecting the right one. Now, for ad setup for this, there is a dynamic formats and creative option. That will basically just change the format. Obviously, it's in like a carousel format at the moment. We can scroll through a couple of these options, but we don't actually want that really for, I mean, it's something that you can try, but we don't want that for this simple retargeting ad that we're setting up. So we want to specifically have, if we turn this off, we want to specifically have a single image or video. So we really just want the product image here. Cool. So this is obviously here, it'll show you all the different examples of what the ad will look like in different placements, both on desktop computers and on mobiles, and in the different placements. So you've got different stories, Facebook and Instagram stories, as well as a Facebook feed. This is the Instagram feed. You can go through all the different variations and check them out. So for the time being, let's have a look at the Facebook feed. I'm pretty sure this is the one that actually shows you the most amount of information. There are a couple of places you can put in text for your ads, but that text is not guaranteed to be shown in every single placement because of the amount of room that they have for the text and the images and the format of it. So you'll just have to have a look around and decide if this advertisement is worthwhile in every single placement. If it's not, you can go back to the ad set level. You can actually go back here. We can scroll down. Sorry, my computer's a little bit slow. And instead of automatic placements, we can do manual placements and then choose, if we don't think the format is really going to suit stories, or we don't think we're going to get conversions from this ad type in stories, we can just totally deselect stories. And it just won't do it in stories. So for this example, I'm just going to keep it all on, just so we've got all of those examples at our fingertips if we need. Cool. So again, my computer is running a little bit slow for some reason, but if we have a look, so we've selected a single image, so it's just going to show the particular product. Now you can have a look at the different samples here. You can scroll through some of your products that it's got. So let's use this shoe as an example. Now we've got our primary text, which is the text above. It's not there at the moment, but if I start typing here, then it will take a second. It will update all of the ads and it will show you hello. So what we might want to say, remember, this is someone that's come to your store, they've clicked on a particular product, they've had a look at it, they might have even added it to their cart, that particular item. So these guys are pretty interested in this item. So what do we want to say to them? Hey, don't forget the space, and then we actually want to name this product. So as you can probably see, no, it's not going to do that. As you can see, we've dynamically added the image. What we can do is click this plus thing here, and then it's brought across some of these elements from Shopify. So we're going to put the name there. So don't forget the, and then I'm going to just add an exclamation mark for dramatic effect. We'll give it a sec to load, and there we go. Don't forget the green shoe. That is an amazing product name, if I may say so myself. So I've got that primary text here. Now again, some of these different text places aren't going to show up everywhere, and the amount of text that you put in different places, it may truncate them or cut them off. So for example, if I put an enter here, your cart, oops, if I can spell, is waiting for you. Don't miss out. As you can see, my copywriting skills are incredible and on point today. So that's the message that we've got. If we have a look at the stories, let's have a look at what that will look like. Take a sec to load. All right, so we've got most of the text here. If we did add another line, this is a test line to see what will appear in the ads. And we'll see. Great. So that also appears in this story. We'll see if it appears in this story. No. So we are cutting it off to an extent. I believe this is the actual Instagram story. This first one was the Facebook story. So it appears in Facebook, but Instagram cuts off and truncates some of the things. And obviously you can match up the text placements with what we've got here. So let's go back to the Facebook feed, the Facebook news feed, because that's going to give us most of the or the most placement spots. That's why it's the default one chosen. You are. That is not how you spell your. I am incredible at the spelling. Awesome. That makes much more sense. So headline. Let's say your cart is waiting for you. So as you can see, we've got this here. Now we've got a news feed link description. The best clothes in the West. We'll just wait a sec for that to update. And there we go. So it's updated that bottom one. So it obviously had the default one from the Facebook page or account that we had there. So now let's have a look at the next thing that we need to do. So when people click this and click Shop Now, which you can change that this button down here, I would say probably keep it on Shop Now. Oh, my light is just turning on. We can probably keep it on Shop Now. Because it's probably the most relevant. I don't think any of these other ones are going to get the same type of click-through or response. So for this example, we're going to keep it at Shop Now. Now, the important thing is the deep link to website. Now, what that does is when people click on the Shop Now button or click on the image, it'll take them to the link. Now, we don't want to just take them to the home page. We actually want to take them to that product page so they can have another look. Another thing that we might want to take them to is the cart page. If they have already, added these products to their cart, and Shopify will keep the cart for a certain amount of time, we can actually link them straight to the cart page. For this example, I want to link them straight to this product page. So we've got this deep link to website. Basically, all we need to do is click here. This will bring up all of these items again. Again, we can add like the description and that type of stuff in some of the other areas, but we are going to scroll down and choose URL. Now, what that will do is when people click the Shop Now button, it will actually take them to the product URL or the product website rather than the just the normal website here. So what we may have to do, let me just see if this is the problem. No, that's all right, but let's keep it. This will be your, your Shopify store there. Now, the other thing that we're going to do, this is having some type of issue for some reason, so let's just get rid of it for the moment so I can show you the other examples of things we can do. So for the headline here, we can say this was. We can choose the compare price or the oops. I don't know why my computer is suddenly very slow, but we're going to choose the price here, comma. Now just price. Let's make sure I got them around the right way. Otherwise, we may have a price increase on our hands. Great. So that is just. What have I done here? Let's go current price. And wait a second for that to update. And that, there we go, was $1.99, now just $99. So that is a big incentive. That is awesome. I'm really happy with that. Let's go. So, pretty much that's nearly everything you need to do. You can add URL parameters if you like. What that will do is help you track where your traffic is coming from. If you're using something like Google Analytics, if you add the URL parameters, you can actually tell Google Analytics exactly what campaign, exactly what ad set, exactly what ad, and even some more information about the ad specifically, on where they actually came in from, if they actually did purchase, or did something did something else, Facebook Analytics will, Google Analytics will just track all of that so that you can actually use that data meaningfully later. For now, we're not going to worry about that. If you don't do UTM parameters, you should definitely look into it, but we're not going to go into that now. The next thing we're going to do is we're just going to add this deep link to website back in. It was given an error before, but hopefully we should be fine. Okay, so I did just have a little error. This is a common thing with Facebook Ads Manager. It has a dummy spit all the time. So what I had to do is, if I added in the product URL here in the deep link, which is what we want to do, it did come up with an error when it reloaded this. Let's just see if it's going to do it again. It's coming up with this weird error. So what we're going to do is we're just going to input it a different way. So we're actually going to need to type it in. So you're going to have these squiggly lines. Now they are the keys next to the letter P, just to the right of the letter P, and we're going to hit Shift and hit that one. I can't remember exactly what it's called right now, but that's the one you want. You want to do two of those, then write product.url, and then close the squiggly brackets. Then what we can do is just click away. It will take a second for it to reload everything, and as you can see, it's got product URL and it is suddenly deciding to work, and it likes us. So we are pretty much good to go. I'm happy with all the settings that we've got. Yes, it's not perfect, but this is far from perfect, in fact. But I am happy for this as an example. What we're going to do is hit publish. It's going to take a little bit to publish. If you are running different ads, you can kind of exit out of this, and there's another review and publish button that will publish all of your different campaigns, ad sets, and ads. And this is just doing this one, so we'll see how we go. Looks like everything was successfully published. Now what happens is this goes into a review process for Facebook. Facebook put it through some bots and may manually review it as well to just make sure that everything's okay, it's all above board, it doesn't break their terms and conditions and their community policies and those types of things. You should be good to go, and then your ad will start serving. So we can have a look at the stats and analytics of the ads over here. It's obviously in draft. What it will do is the budget and stuff did change because I had to reset the campaign because my ads manager was freaking out, but don't worry about that. It will give us some information on reach, impressions, the cost per result, and the result being a purchase. There are some other elements that you're going to want to probably add. If you go in columns here, there are a couple of preset elements, preset views here that will show you what you can, what you want to see. What we'll probably want to see, I'll just run you through a couple of them really quick before we finish up. We're going to customize the columns. And then once it loads, here we go. All right, so what we want to do is have a look at frequency. So this is how many times the ad on average will be shown has been shown to people over a time period as well. So if it is getting up there and people still aren't purchasing, it probably means you need to dial back your spend because you're kind of wasting a little bit of money. I'm not going to give you any specific benchmarks on what you should be aiming for in this video because they can change. So you'll have to get that information somewhere else. So just to make sure that it's up to date. But otherwise, frequency is a really key thing. The return on ad spend is also very, very important. What we're going to do is add that. What we will also do is clicks. Now there's a couple of different things here. We're going to have a look at the unique outbound clicks. So that's every unique person that has actually clicked the ad that has taken them off Facebook and obviously onto our website. So that is important to have a look at. It's also good to have a look at maybe the unique clicks, maybe the all clicks. So the unique link clicks. Sorry, we're going to have a look at the outbound clicks and then the unique outbound clicks. So what that means is the unique ones are each individual person, whereas outbound clicks, if a person happens to click the same ad twice, outbound clicks will count that as 2 clicks, whereas unique will just be from an actual individual. Doesn't matter how many times I click this specific ad, it will just count as 1. The other thing will be the clicks all, which would be an interesting metric just to have a look at to see if people are interacting with the ads, and that encompasses a couple of different elements of clicking the ad, clicking the image, clicking the like button and that type of stuff. You can actually get, if you go see more, there'll be a bit more of a breakdown there for you. So anyway, there are a couple of different things that you want to have a look at, of course, as well as your cost, your reach. Your reach and impressions is obviously going to be based on this small audience of people that have looked at your site. So those aren't super important. However, the number of impressions as opposed to the reach is going to show the average of your frequency, which is how many times your ad is shown to a person. So you'll be looking at the purchase return on ad spend to make sure that that is a multiple that is relatively higher than 1 or 2 or 3. Hopefully you're going to get a number higher than that. A 1 return on ad spend means whatever you're spending on Facebook, you are receiving that back in the sale. However, you're then not paying for the sale, so you need to work out how much you're willing to spend to acquire a customer, and then how much in total that it's going to be costing, so that you can work out your figures. Then you've got a really good baseline for what your return on ad spend needs to be, and you can kind of compare your performance based on that. Awesome. Look, I hope that's going to be the end of the tutorial today. Hopefully you have learned something. Hopefully you've learned how you can set up these dynamic ads. I haven't gone into super detail on the structure of what a really good retargeting campaign should look like, but this will give you an idea on how to set it up. You can set up your very first retargeting campaign and you can see how it performs. Awesome. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day. Thanks, guys.